Welcome back. FFJmon here. Good to have you guys back on the channel. Hope you're having a great night. In this video, I just wanted to show you guys my storing method for how I'm storing my Pokemon TCG single cards. And this mainly kind of reflects the bulk cards that I have and how I'm storing those, but I'll also show you, because I think in a previous video you guys have seen how I've stored some of my more valuable single cards, so I'll show you that too, just as a refresher. But I'll mainly show how I'm storing my bulk single cards, and yeah, just kind of showing you how I'm storing them, and yeah, and it's just a good way to categorize them, because I think it's just good to know what inventory you have, what sets the cards come from, and yeah, I think it'd be a good tip to utilize in case you guys ever wanted to store your bulk Pokemon singles in a specific way, and also tell you kind of what apps and stuff I use as well to kind of track some of that. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so inside of this case is my Pokemon bulk single cards. And I'll post a link in the description on where I acquired this storage solution. I believe I got it on Amazon. But basically, this guy here is storing all of my single Pokemon booster cards. Sorry. This is storing my Pokemon bulk single cards. As you can see, I have them categorized by set. So if you look here, for example, we got jungle and we got base here. So all of these are base set cards. We got jungle, we got base set 2, we got fossil, rocket, gym hero, gym challenge. So basically, yeah, all of these go up to like Neo, Destiny, Revelation. We got Legendary Collection. So yeah, we're working our way now through the EX era here. So yeah, and this kind of just gives a snapshot of like what I kind of collected as a kid, because yeah, most of these cards were from when I was like growing up and stuff. So it's kind of cool to see for sure. So yeah, so that was my base set bulk, and yeah, base set 2 bulk was pretty big. Dragon, for EX Dragon, definitely had a lot of cards from that set. And I think it was just because like I thought dragons were cool, and seeing like dragon on like a booster pack, I think just like made me want to open a ton of those, so that makes sense. And then yeah, more modern stuff, Silver Tempest, I definitely opened up a lot of Silver Tempest. Crown Zenith, same thing here. And yeah, Brilliant Stars, Surging Sparks, kind of more modern. What's this? Black Hole White Flare. And, oh yeah, Mega Evolution. Good amount of Mega Evolution. And oh yeah, all my Japanese cards. And energy cards. Yeah, so that's kind of how I have them stored. And yeah, I use these dividers, and I use the label maker, and kind of just, made an abbreviation for each of these sets, just so I kind of know. And then in terms of how I am categorizing them digitally, right now I have all of these on TCG Player, and I've kind of made like a playlist for like each set, and I basically just like put all the cards from like base set into like a folder, jungle, fossil, etc. So yeah, I think it's a good way to categorize it. I've kind of messed up my order a little bit, because if you look kind of back here at Paradox Rift, this used to be more full, but then obviously I have been taking cards out of here because I want to put my Paradox Rift cards into a master set binder at some point. So the only 2 cards I have of Paradox Rift in this bulk storage are those 2, but then it doesn't really reflect what I have on TCG Player, because I don't know, I'm kind of tracking those separately in the Dex app, because I feel like the Dex app is really good to like track my master set progress, and it shows a lot of like cool stuff in that. So yeah, so it's right now it might be a little double dipping, or I'm still trying to figure out like how to reconcile that a little bit. Like whether I delete what's I took away from here from TCG Player and then only, track what I'm putting in the master set in that specific binder for the master set. I'll track maybe in decks. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Or maybe I'll port everything over from TCG Player to decks, because I really like decks. Actually, decks is really cool. I might do that, because like there's links to TCG Player in the decks app, and I just think it's a lot more like collector friendly than I think TCG Player is. But I'll think about it. But yeah, so that's kind of how I've stored my bulk cards, and I don't have them sleeved. A lot of these cards, I don't care too much about condition. Like, I mean, I try to treat my cards well, but like bulk cards, you don't really have to like sleeve up. I mean, you can if you want to, but that's a lot of sleeves for a lot of cards, and I think I feel alright with not sleeving these, especially some of these older ones. Like, I was a kid, and they might have a few dings or some whitening here or there, and yeah, they're not going to be perfect, but yeah. Still got some room to play with here too. So, yeah, I like my storage method for this, and this kind of has a little magnetic closure as well. You can kind of just fold it over, and it closes like that, and yeah, it's fairly sleek, nice material there. So that is how I store my single cards. I'll put that to the side. And then right now, as I'm waiting to get a master set binder, right now I kind of just have my single cards I'm going to store in my master set. I have them all sleeved up, and kind of just have them in these little like card guard holders. These are like top load sleeve holders that would like come with a pack of those before they're opened. But I basically just have the cards in order. And that's the thing too, like in here, I had all of them in set order, starting with, the lowest number in the set all the way up to the highest. Same thing here. Besides, like in the very front, these are like promos that aren't part of Paradox Rift, or, well, actually, I'll kind of get into that a little bit too. So as I was thinking more about my Paradox Rift master set, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, because you don't want your collecting to get too out of hand, and it's definitely good to like have a goal in mind when you're doing these, because you don't want to go too crazy. There's a lot of things you could do, but I think having focused energy on what you want to do and collect, I think, is a good idea. And that's why, with my booster pack collection, sometimes I've thought about, like, should I keep collecting those, or should I do something else? Or like as new product comes out, it's like definitely hard to like think about wanting to keep doing it or wanting to switch over to something else. But it's good to have a goal and have like a idea of what you'd like to collect, and then just kind of stick with it. And I definitely want to keep doing the booster packs, because I think it's fun, and I like having booster packs and kind of getting the history of some of the older sets and stuff. And like from an affordability standpoint, it's definitely something, that I'd want to try to do still. And then for single cards, I'm gonna like collect the bulk cards that when I do, open a pack here or there, I want a place to store my bulk cards, so that's what this is for. And also, if I get some hits, I'll store them in my hits binders. But then I also wanted to do like a master set. I think it'd just be fun, and I think, I'm not trying to master set every set. But I think if I could do it for, like a modern set that I really liked, that had a lot of cards that you could really appreciate the arts for, I think it'd be fun to do Paradox Rift, because that was like my favorite set from Scarlet and Violet. So I decided to do that. I really like the cards in there. Plus, I think that was like the only, I think there was maybe, there was definitely some in Sword and Shield, but I think Paradox Rift is the only set that has a Deoxys card. And it's just a regular rare card, but it's a Deoxys card. I don't have it yet. It's really cheap. It's like less than $1, I think. But I'm pretty sure it's the only Scarlet and Violet set that has a Deoxys card. And you guys know Deoxys is like one of my favorite Pokemon. So that's also like a good reason to collect the set, is that, you know, you get to collect 2 variants of Deoxys, and that's pretty fun. So yeah, I've been kind of working my way up on Paradox Rift. I also decided, and this would be like a cheap addition, so like let's say I finished Paradox Rift and I wanted to kind of keep collecting some cards here or there, but nothing like too crazy or like put too much pressure on myself to, you know, spend money to buy a bunch of cards, is I really like Paradox Pokemon, as you guys know, and I think it'd be fun to try to collect kind of every variant of, maybe not every variant, but like put the extra cards of the Paradox Pokemon into like the latter half of that Master Set binder for Paradox Rift. So for example, I think I have a few of them here. Yeah. So like the Steelix is part of the Paradox Rift. Now this is part of like a Grandmaster set because it's like the Cosmos Paradox Rift promo from, I forget what product this was from, but I'm not really trying to do Grandmaster set. I'm just trying to do a Master set. But like that would go in the binder. But then like I think it'd be cool to collect, you know, all the different Roaring Moon cards. So this is like the McDonald's Roaring Moon. And then this is Sandy Shocks from Temporal Forces. You got Slitherwing from Shrouded Fable. You got Great Tusk from Prismatic Evolution. I have the Iron Treads Special Illustration Rare from Scarlet and Violet base. And then the cool Iron Valiant from Temporal Forces. So yeah, I kind of was separating out those ones too from my bulk and from my like pull binder, because it might be cool to like add some extra cards to that Paradox Rift binder to just add, you know, the Paradox Pokemon and all the different cards they have. Because, and another thing that's nice is that, you know, now that Scarlet and Violet is done and they're moving on to Mega Evolution, you know, there might not really be a lot of Mega Evolution or, sorry, Paradox Pokemon cards like coming out in the future. So I wouldn't have to worry about like trying to keep collecting a bunch of cards, and it might not be like sustainable. So there'd be like a finite number of them, and yeah, I could just kind of add them here or there whenever I find them, and most of them are pretty cheap. And yeah, there's some pretty expensive ones like the Roaring Moon SIR and from Prismatic, and same with like the Iron Valiant and stuff like that. But yeah, that'd be kind of fun. So I might do that as well as like a side collection after I do the Master Set. But I mainly want to focus on, you know, the booster packs. Doing this Master Set would be fun. Collecting some of the Paradox Pokemon would also be fun. But yeah, that was kind of what I came up with too. Because for example, there was the Fluttermane promo like illustration rare card that wasn't part of Paradox Rift or any Scarlet and Violet set, but it was like really cool. I forget what like product it came with, but it's like a really cool card, and I would definitely want that in that binder. But it's just stuff like that. There's just like cool Paradox Pokemon here or there that I think would be cool to add to the binder. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So I have all these kind of stored here as additional singles. And then I think you guys have seen these before, but the rest of my singles I kind of have divided up into 2 different binders. So I have this Voltex. This was like my first Voltex binder. The yellow one has, you know, a strap. And then it's a side-loading binder, and it basically stores all of my like holographic or special like trainer item cards, like A-Spec cards, as well as reverse holos. And yeah, I have this like Seadra because I just thought that was a cool card. And yeah, mainly like reverse holos of cards. So yeah, this is kind of my reverse holo / trainer binder. There I have that Meowth from Skyridge. It's pretty sweet. Reverse. Definitely scratched up and stuff just because, you know, it's an older card that I've had for a while, but definitely glad to have it. Got Houndoom from Team Aqua, Team Magma. This Kabuto reverse from Sandstorm. So yeah, definitely got some old cards in here. But yeah, that's kind of where so I don't really store these with the bulk. Kind of have those separate. I have that reverse hollow Onyx. Don't know what that's from. What's that? Is that? Oh, that's Aquapolis. Yeah, Aquapolis Onyx reverse hollow. So yeah, you guys, I think I've seen this binder before in some of my previous videos, but kind of just wanted to show. That's how I'm storing those cards. And yeah, still some room in here. And yeah, if you guys saw some of the blank spots, that's where I've kind of taken out the stuff for my Paradox Rift / Paradox Pokemon collecting effort. And then of course, last but certainly not least, is this binder. My Charizard binder. I think this is an Ultra Pro binder. Yeah, there's on the back there. Ultra Pro. This has all my hits, so all the big cards, EX cards, even like regular holographic rare cards I have in here as well. And you would think, yeah, you have every holographic rare card. Like I know Scarlet and Violet, like every pack had one. But, you know, I still have enough room in here, and I don't really open a ton of packs, so yeah, I think you guys have seen all these before, but just to kind of show you, there's a lot of cool cards in here, and that's kind of how I store my, you know, singles of cards that I either, you know, really cherish or, yeah, just think kind of deserving to go in this binder here. So this is my hit binder. Yeah, and even got some different languages here, like this Dragonite. I've had that for a while. It's a really sweet card. Definitely a little bit damaged or scratched up. Got that Gengar from Fossil. That's really cool. Got the Tauros reverse from Legendary Collection. That Raichu is probably one of my favorite cards ever from Sandstorm. Raichu EX. So, yeah, this is where I stored the big cards, the big hitters. Yeah, and that's pretty much how I store my singles. And like I said, so how I do it on the apps and stuff is, right now, like I said, I do TCG Player for my bulk cards. I do Dex for my master set. And then I'm doing Collector for all of my sealed product, which basically is like my booster packs, my sealed booster packs. A couple of the booster boxes that I have, mostly they're like the Japanese ones. But that's kind of how I track those as well. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and were able to get some insight into storing your Pokemon singles, and I'd be interested to see how you guys store your cards. So please let me know. Give me a like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.